There once lived a man known simply as the Inventor. He was not a man of loud words or grand gestures. Instead, his world was one of deep thought and quiet creation. He lived in a small workshop, filled with gears, wires, and half-finished dreams. Every day he would sit at his workbench, not just seeing wood and metal, but seeing what they could become. He was a true visionary, an architect of dreams. He understood that the greatest creations begin not with the hands, but within the vast and silent landscape of the mind. He knew that to build something extraordinary in the world, one must first build it perfectly within oneself. His true tools were focus, imagination, and a boundless curiosity that saw possibility in everything. The inventor's mind was a universe of its own. It was a place of swirling galaxies of ideas and constellations of connections. He could spend hours, even days, lost in thought. He would trace a single idea from its birth as a faint whisper to its full form as a complex blueprint. To the outside world he might have looked perfectly still, but inside a storm of creativity was always brewing. He believed that every person has this inner world. We all have the capacity to be inventors in our own lives. We just need to learn how to access that quiet, powerful space within us. The inventor showed us that our greatest asset is not what we own, but how we think. He was a master of observation. He watched the way a leaf fell from a tree, noticing the gentle spiral it made on its journey to the ground. He listened to the rhythm of the rain on his roof, hearing a secret music in a simple pattern. Everything was a source of inspiration for him. He saw the world not as it was, but as a collection of unsolved puzzles and unanswered questions. This childlike wonder was the fuel for his creative fire. It kept him humble. It kept him hungry for knowledge. He taught us that to be truly creative, we must never lose our ability to be amazed by the ordinary. The world is constantly speaking to us, offering its secrets to those who are willing to listen. The inventor's greatest strength was his patience. He understood that a brilliant idea cannot be forced. It must be invited. It must be nurtured. Like a gardener tending to a rare flower, he would prepare the soil of his mind. He would clear it of weeds, which are the worries and distractions of daily life. Then he would plant the seed of a problem and wait. He trusted the process. He knew that if he created the right conditions, the answer would eventually blossom. This deep trust in the creative process was his secret. He knew that the mind, when calm and focused, has a wisdom far greater than our anxious, everyday thinking. He was a living example of how to work with the mind, not against it, not. Ideas were like gentle breezes to the inventor. They came from everywhere and nowhere at once. He would be walking in the woods and an idea would rustle in the leaves. He would be watching the stars and a concept would sparkle in the night sky. He did not chase these ideas. Instead, he created a space for them to arrive. He was a gracious host to inspiration. His mind was an open door, welcoming every new thought that knocked. He knew that many ideas would be fleeting visitors, staying only for a moment. But some, the truly special ones, would decide to stay. He treated every idea with respect, knowing that even a small one could lead to a great discovery. The inventor had a special journal. It was filled with sketches, notes and questions. This was his garden of ideas. When a new thought arrived, he would carefully plant it in the pages of his journal. He would not judge it or immediately try to build it. He would simply let it be. He would visit it from time to time, adding a new detail here or a related thought there. This process allowed him to see which ideas had the strength to grow. Some ideas would wither and fade, proving to be unhelpful. Others would grow strong roots and begin to blossom, demanding to be brought to life. His journal was a testament to the power of capturing and nurturing our fleeting thoughts. Choosing the right idea was an act of intuition. It was not a purely logical decision. The inventor would sit with his strongest ideas, feeling them out. He would ask himself, which of these ideas truly serves a purpose? Which one will bring more good into the world? Which one resonates with my heart? He listened for a feeling of rightness, a quiet inner knowing that told him this was the path to follow. He trusted this inner compass above all else. He knew that an invention born only from logic might be clever, but an invention born from both logic and heart would be truly wise. This is how he ensured his work was not just brilliant, but also meaningful. Once he chose an idea, he gave it his full and undivided attention. He poured all of his energy into it. It became his single point of focus, his North Star. This concentration of energy was what transformed a simple thought into a tangible reality. He taught us a powerful lesson about commitment. When we scatter our energy across too many goals, we achieve very little. But when we focus our power on one single worthy purpose, we become unstoppable. The inventor knew that a magnifying glass can only start a fire when it holds perfectly still, focusing the sun's rays onto one tiny spot. His life was a masterclass in the art of dedicated focus. The creative journey was never a straight line for the inventor. It was a winding path filled with twists, turns, and unexpected roadblocks. There were days when he felt completely lost. A gear would not fit, a circuit would not connect. The elegant solution that seemed so clear in his mind would refuse to work in the real world. On these days, a shadow of sadness would fall over him. He would feel the heavy weight of failure. He would question his abilities and wonder if he had chosen the wrong path. This is a natural part of the process for any creator. Doubt is the shadow that follows discovery. It is a sign that you are pushing the boundaries of what is known, instead of fighting this sadness. The inventor learned to accept it. He saw it as a signal from his mind that it was time to rest. He would not force himself to keep working. He would not bang his head against the wall of the problem. Instead, he would step away from his workbench. He would put down his tools and go for a long walk in nature. He would listen to the songs of the birds or watch the clouds drift across the sky. He understood that a tired mind cannot produce brilliant thoughts. He knew that sometimes the most productive thing you can do is to do nothing at all. This period of rest was not an escape, it was a vital part of the solution. During these walks he would practice letting go. He would consciously release his grip on the problem. He would tell himself, the answer will come when it is ready. I do not need to force it now. This act of surrender was incredibly powerful. It was an expression of trust in a deeper intelligence. As he relaxed his mind and stopped trying so hard, something magical would happen. The mental tension would dissolve, the frustrating, repetitive thoughts would quiet down. His mind would become clear and open again, like a calm lake after a storm. He was creating the perfect conditions for a breakthrough to occur simply by letting go of the struggle. And then, often when he least expected it, the answer would arrive. It would not come with a loud crash, but with a gentle click. It was like a key turning in a lock that he did not even know was there. The solution would appear in his mind, often so simple and elegant that he wondered why he had not seen it before. This aha moment was the reward for his patience. It was the fruit of his dance with doubt. He showed us that breakthroughs are not born from struggle, but from the quiet space that follows it. The greatest discoveries are made not when we are thinking harder, but when we finally allow ourselves to stop thinking altogether. The inventor's most prized possession was not a tool or a machine, it was silence. In a world that was growing louder and more chaotic, he actively sought out quiet spaces. His workshop was his sanctuary, a place where the noise of the world faded away. He knew that great ideas are shy. They do not shout to be heard, they whisper, and you can only hear a whisper when you're very, very still. He would begin each day with a period of complete silence. He would simply sit, close his eyes and listen, not to any particular sound, but to the silence itself. This practice was like tuning an instrument. It tuned his mind to a finer, more receptive frequency. Mindfulness was the key that unlocked his sanctuary of silence. It was the simple practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. When he was working, he was fully present with his work. When he was walking, he was fully present with his steps. He did not allow his mind to be in one place while his body was in another. This practice of being fully present anchored him. It stopped his thoughts from drifting into worries about the future or regrets about the past. It brought all of his energy into the now, the only place where life truly happens. This mindful presence made his mind calm, clear, and incredibly powerful. In the depths of this silence, he found answers that had eluded him in the noise of active thinking. When he was stuck on a problem, he would not try to think his way out of it. He would enter his silence, he would quiet his mind and simply hold the question gently. He would not analyze or strategize, he would just be with the question like a friend. In this quiet, receptive state, his intuition could speak. The mind, free from the clutter of constant thought, could make surprising connections. Solutions would emerge from this deep well of inner wisdom, whole and complete. The silence was not empty, it was full of potential. The inventor taught that silence is not the absence of something, but the presence of everything. It is the fertile ground from which all creativity grows. It is the canvas upon which masterpieces are painted. We all have access to this inner sanctuary. We can find it by turning off the television, putting down our phones, and simply being with ourselves for a few minutes each day. We can practice being mindful as we wash the dishes or walk to work. By cultivating silence, we are not running away from the world. We are connecting with the source of our own genius, the deep, quiet place within where our best ideas are waiting for us. Even a great mind like the inventor's was not immune to struggle. There were times when his thoughts would, turn against him. A worry about a project, a fear of failure, or a frustrating memory would get stuck in his mind. It would play over and over again, like a broken record. He called this the loop of thought. It was a mental trap that drained his energy and clouded his vision. He would feel himself spiraling, caught in a chain of repetitive and anxious thoughts. This is a struggle familiar to many of us. Our minds can sometimes become our own worst enemies, trapping us in cycles of worry and negativity that lead nowhere. The inventor recognized that these thought loops were the opposite of creative thinking. Creative thinking is fluid, open, and expansive. It explores new possibilities. Repetitive thinking, on the other hand, is rigid, closed, and constricting. It walks the same worn-out path again and again. It offers no new solutions and no escape. The inventor knew that as long as he was caught in this loop, he could not invent, he could not create. The anxious noise of the loop drowned out the quiet whispers of inspiration. He understood that freedom from this mental prison was essential for his work and for his well-being. His escape route was creativity itself. When he felt the chains of a thought loop closing in, he would not fight the thoughts directly. That would only make them stronger. Instead, he would redirect his mental energy. He would pick up a piece of clay and start sculpting, feeling the cool material in his hands. He would grab his journal and start sketching a completely unrelated idea, maybe a fantasy machine that could fly on butterfly wings. He would do something, anything, that engaged his creative mind in a playful and unstructured way. This act of creation was a powerful form of liberation. It broke the spell of the repetitive thought. This strategy was brilliant. By engaging in a creative act, he was not just distracting himself, he was fundamentally changing his brain's activity. He was moving from the rigid, fearful part of his mind to the flexible, imaginative part. The energy that was fueling the anxiety was now being used to create something new. The loop would break because its fuel source had been cut off. The inventor showed us a profound truth. Creativity is the antidote to anxiety. When we feel stuck in our own heads, the best thing we can do is to make something with our hands. We can write a poem, sing a song, or cook a meal. Creation is the key that unlocks the chains of the restless mind. The inventor was, keenly aware of a darker side to the thinking mind. He saw just how easy it was to become addicted to the process of thinking itself. The mind, like a powerful machine, really loves to run. It loves to analyze, to problem solve, and honestly, to worry. If we're not careful, this machine can run on autopilot, churning out thoughts endlessly, even when there's no real problem to solve. The inventor noticed this in himself. Sometimes, even after a project was complete, his mind would just continue to dissect it, looking for flaws or ways it could have been better. But this was not productive. It was the shadow of the machine, the mind's addiction to its own activity. This addiction to repetitive thinking creates a constant background noise of mental chatter. It's a state of low-grade anxiety and restlessness. It prevents us from ever feeling truly at peace. The mind becomes like a factory that never shuts down, producing thoughts day and night. And this, over time, depletes our vital energy and leaves us feeling drained and uninspired. The inventor realized that this state was the enemy of deep creativity. True genius, he understood, does not come from a noisy, overworked mind. It comes from a mind that knows how to be quiet. He saw that many people live their entire lives in this state of mental noise, never experiencing the profound clarity of a silent mind. The effect of this constant mental chatter is, profound. It robs us of the present moment. We're physically here, but our minds are lost in the past or anxious about the future. We eat our meals without tasting them. We walk in nature without seeing its beauty. We are with our loved ones, but our minds are elsewhere. The inventor called this living as a ghost. We are mere shadows of ourselves, not fully present, not fully alive. He knew that this was a tragic way to live, so he made it his mission to master his own mind, to learn how to turn the machine off when it wasn't needed, so he could be fully present for the gift of life. To overcome this shadow, the inventor practiced detachment from his thoughts. He learned to observe them without getting caught up in them. He would watch his thoughts come and go, just like clouds in the sky. He did not identify with them. He realized, I am not my thoughts, I am the observer of my thoughts. This simple shift in perspective was, honestly, revolutionary. It created a space between him and his mental chatter, and it was in this space that he found his freedom. He could choose which thoughts to engage with and which to let pass by. This is the first and most important step in reclaiming our minds from the addiction to thinking. The inventor believed that everyone could find freedom from the prison of their own thoughts. The first step on this path, he taught, is simple awareness. You must begin to notice your own thought patterns. Just as he observed the world around him, he learned to observe his inner world. He encouraged others to do the same. Sit quietly for just 5 minutes and listen to your mind. What is it saying? Is it worrying? Is it planning? Is it judging? Do not try to change the thoughts. Do not condemn them, simply notice them. This act of noticing is like turning on a light in a dark room. For the first time, you begin to see what is really there. Once you have developed this awareness, the next step is to name the patterns. The inventor had names for his mental habits, like the worry loop or the self-critic. By naming them, you take away their power. They are no longer a vague, overwhelming feeling. They become a specific, observable pattern. When you catch yourself in a loop of worry, you can say to yourself, there is the worry loop again. This simple act of labeling creates distance. It reminds you that this is just a habit of the mind. It is not who you are. It is a program that is running, and you have the power to stop it. The third step is to introduce a pattern interrupt. When you notice an unhelpful thought pattern starting, do something to break the cycle. The inventor used creativity, but there are many other ways. You can stand up and stretch. You can splash some cold water on your face. You can put on your favorite song and dance for a minute. You can call a friend. The key is to do something that shifts your physical and mental state immediately. This is not about suppressing the thought, but about redirecting your energy. You are consciously choosing to step off the old, worn-out path and create a new one. Finally, the inventor taught the importance of cultivating a new, more positive inner state. The ultimate goal is not just to stop negative thinking, but to fill your mind with peace, gratitude, and inspiration. You can do this by spending time in nature, practicing gratitude for the small things in your life, or reading inspiring books. You are actively replacing the weeds of worry with the flowers of peace. This is the path to lasting mental freedom. It is a journey of awareness, naming, interrupting, and cultivating. It is a path that is available to every single one of us, right here, right now. It is the path from a mind that controls you to a mind that you control. The inventor discovered a profound secret on his journey. True invention, true genius, does not come from forcing old ways of thinking. It comes when we have the courage to let them go completely. For years, he had tried to solve problems by thinking harder, by analyzing more, by pushing his intellect to its limits. This approach yielded some results, but honestly, they were incremental improvements, not revolutionary breakthroughs. He was simply rearranging the furniture in a room he already knew. He was not discovering a new room. He was trapped within the known boundaries of his own logic and experience. The breakthrough came when he learned to embrace the don't know mind. This is a state of radical openness. It is the willingness to admit that your current way of thinking is not enough. It is the humility to let go of what you think you know and to become a beginner again. When faced with an impossible problem, the inventor would consciously empty his mind of all his preconceived ideas and solutions. He would let go of his expertise. He would become a blank slate. This was a courageous act. It meant stepping into the uncertainty of the unknown without any guarantee of finding an answer. It was in this empty open space that true magic happened. By letting go of old thought patterns, he created a vacuum. And nature, as he knew, abhors a vacuum. Into this mental space, a new and higher intelligence could flow. Ideas would emerge that were not just combinations of old thoughts, they were genuinely new. They came from a source beyond his personal, logical mind. This was the source of his greatest inventions, the ones that seemed to come from nowhere, fully formed and perfect. He was not creating them with his intellect, he was receiving them with his open, silent mind. This is the gift of letting go. When we release our tight grip on our problems and our old ways of solving them, we unlock a new level of creativity. We tap into a wisdom that is far greater than our own. This applies to every area of our lives. If you are facing a challenge in your career, your relationships, or your personal growth, try letting go of your need to figure it all out. Quiet your mind. Trust that a better solution is waiting for you. The inventor's greatest genius was not in his ability to think, but in his ability to stop thinking. This is how he unlocked the door to the infinite, and we can all learn to find that key. As the years passed, the inventor's focus began to shift. He had created many wonderful machines that helped people in countless ways. His name was known far and wide, but he came to realize that his external inventions, no matter how brilliant, were not his greatest achievement. He discovered that the most important invention he had ever worked on was his own inner state. He understood that you could have all the success in the world, but if you did not have peace within, you had nothing. The highest state of the human mind, he concluded, is not frantic activity, but deep, unshakable peace. This deep peace was found in the silence he had cultivated for so long. It was not a dull, empty state. It was vibrant, alive, and full of a quiet joy. It was the feeling of coming home to his true self. In this silence, there were no problems to solve, no goals to achieve, and no one to impress. There was only being. He realized that this state of silent, peaceful awareness was the ultimate goal of all spiritual traditions. It was the treasure that all the monks and mystics were seeking, and he had found it not on a remote mountaintop, but right there in his own workshop, within his own mind. He saw that this inner peace was the source of all his other gifts. His creativity, his intuition, and his wisdom all flowed from this deep well of silence. When his mind was peaceful, he was at his most effective, his most loving, and his most brilliant. He understood that peace was not a luxury, it was a necessity for a life well lived. It was the foundation upon which everything else of value could be built. He began to spend more time simply enjoying this state, less time striving and more time being. His work became more effortless, more joyful, and more profound than ever before. He was no longer inventing from a place of need, but from a place of fullness. The inventor's final and greatest invention was not a machine at all. It was a method, a way of life. It was the example he set, showing that the highest human achievement is to master one's own mind and discover the ocean of peace that lies within. He showed us that the journey from thought to silence is the most important journey any of us will ever take. It is the journey from a life of frantic doing to a life of peaceful being. This inner peace is available to all of us. It is our birthright. It is the ultimate invention, the one that finally brings us lasting happiness and freedom. This is the true legacy of the great inventor.